Most people want recognition before they've earned results. They want validation before discipline, attention before consistency, praise before sacrifice. And that mindset quietly destroys potential. Because the moment you become addicted to showing people what you plan to do, you slowly stop focusing on what actually needs to be done. A lot of people are not failing because they lack talent. They are failing because they talk too much, compare too much, seek approval too much, and quit the moment nobody claps for them. Real growth is usually silent. The strongest transformations happen when nobody is watching. When there are no likes, no attention, no applause. Just you, your habits, your mindset, and the decision to keep going anyway. That is where real discipline is built. Modern life has made silence uncomfortable. People feel pressured to constantly post, constantly prove themselves, constantly show progress to others. And because of that, many people confuse visibility with achievement. But being seen is not the same as becoming better. Some people spend more time announcing goals than actually working on them. They talk about the gym instead of training consistently. They talk about success instead of building skills. They talk about changing their life while repeating the same habits every single day. And over time, talking creates the illusion of progress. Your brain starts rewarding you emotionally for intentions instead of actions. That is dangerous, because eventually you feel mentally satisfied without physically doing the work. Real self-improvement does not always look exciting. Sometimes it looks repetitive. Sometimes it looks lonely. Sometimes it feels slow. And that is why most people never reach their potential. They underestimate the power of quiet consistency. They chase motivation instead of structure, excitement instead of discipline, fast rewards instead of long-term growth. But success rarely comes from random bursts of motivation. It comes from repeated actions done over and over again, especially on the days you do not feel like doing them. That is the part nobody wants to hear. Discipline is not about feeling powerful every morning. It is about learning to act even when emotions change. Because emotions are unstable. Some days you feel confident. Some days you feel tired. Some days you feel doubtful. Some days you feel mentally drained. If your actions depend entirely on feelings, your progress will always be inconsistent. And inconsistent effort creates inconsistent results. This is why silent workers often become dangerous. They are not distracted by attention. They are not addicted to external validation. They are focused on building something real. While everyone else is performing productivity online, they are improving privately. And private improvement creates public results later. A lot of people want the outcome without respecting the process. They want confidence without discomfort, success without patience, results without repetition. But life does not work that way. Everything meaningful takes time. Muscle takes time. Skills take time. Mental strength takes time. Trust takes time. Self-respect takes time. And one of the biggest signs of maturity is understanding that slow progress is still progress. Because when people do not see immediate results, they panic. They think nothing is working. They lose focus. They return to old habits. But most breakthroughs happen after long periods where it feels like nothing is changing. That is why patience matters. Not passive patience. Active patience. The kind where you continue working even without instant rewards. That mindset separates emotionally strong people from emotionally weak people. Weak minds need constant evidence to continue. Strong minds continue because they understand the evidence will come later. And social media has made this even harder. People are constantly exposed to curated success. Everyone looks productive. Everyone looks rich. Everyone looks ahead in life. But what you are seeing is usually the highlight, not the struggle behind it. You do not see the failures, the self-doubt, the years of repetition, the sacrifices, the lonely work sessions, the discipline required to stay focused when nobody cared yet. You only see the result. And because of that, many people start comparing their beginning to someone else's finished chapter. That comparison destroys motivation. It creates insecurity, overthinking, pressure, impatience. Instead of focusing on growth, people become obsessed with appearances. But real growth often looks boring from the outside. Reading consistently is boring. Practicing skills daily is boring. Going to the gym repeatedly is boring. Fixing habits is boring. Yet these boring actions completely change lives over time. That is the truth people avoid. Your future is usually shaped by small repeated behaviors, not dramatic moments. Your habits are building your life right now whether you realize it or not. Every distraction trains your focus. Every excuse trains your mindset. Every action reinforces identity. And the brain works through repetition. Whatever behavior you repeat consistently becomes easier over time. If you constantly avoid hard things, your mind becomes weaker around discomfort. But if you repeatedly face difficult tasks, your mental tolerance grows. That is why discipline is powerful. Not because it makes life easy, but because it makes you stronger. And once your mind becomes stronger, life stops controlling you so easily. You stop reacting emotionally to every setback. You stop quitting every time things get difficult. You stop needing motivation to function. You become more stable. That stability is rare today. Most people are mentally overstimulated all the time. Too much scrolling. Too much comparison. Too much noise. Too many distractions. People cannot even sit alone with their thoughts anymore without reaching for entertainment. Silence feels uncomfortable because silence exposes reality. It forces people to confront their habits, fears, wasted time, and lack of direction. That is why many people stay busy instead of productive. Busy feels safer than honest self-reflection. But growth begins when excuses end. At some point, you must stop explaining your situation and start changing your behavior. Because your future does not care about your excuses. And deep down, most people already know what they need to do. Sleep earlier. Focus more. Waste less time. Stop procrastinating. Stay consistent. Control distractions. Protect energy. Work even when nobody notices. The problem is not information. The problem is execution. People consume endless motivational content but avoid uncomfortable action. And motivation alone will never save you. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is reliable. Motivation depends on mood. Discipline depends on standards. That is why emotionally mature people stop relying on inspiration every day. They create routines. Because routines reduce mental negotiation. When good habits become automatic, progress becomes easier to maintain. And no, you do not need to become perfect overnight. That mindset actually destroys consistency. Real self-improvement happens gradually. Small changes repeated daily become massive transformations later. Reading 10 pages daily matters. Training consistently matters. Reducing screen time matters. Learning one skill slowly matters. These actions may feel small today, but repeated over months and years, they completely change identity. The problem is that most people quit too early to witness the results. They underestimate compound growth. Success is rarely explosive in the beginning. Usually it is invisible. And that is why working in silence matters so much. Silence protects focus. When you stop seeking approval from everyone, you regain mental energy. You stop performing. You stop comparing. You stop explaining yourself constantly. And instead of wasting energy trying to look successful, you finally start becoming successful. That shift changes everything. Because true confidence does not come from attention. It comes from evidence. Evidence that you kept promises to yourself. Evidence that you stayed disciplined. Evidence that you continued even when it was hard. That is real self-respect. Not fake confidence. Not loud motivation. Not empty words. Real confidence is built quietly through repeated action. And the truth is, many people will not understand your silence while you are building. Some may doubt you. Some may overlook you. Some may underestimate you. But that is fine. You are not working to impress distracted people. You are working to build a stronger future for yourself. And one day the results will speak louder than explanations ever could. Not because success is about proving others wrong, but because consistent effort always leaves evidence eventually. So stop announcing every move. Stop needing constant validation. Stop waiting for perfect motivation. Protect your focus. Protect your habits. Protect your future. Work quietly. Improve privately. Grow steadily. Because the loudest victories are usually built during the quietest seasons of life. And remember this. A person who masters consistency while nobody is watching becomes unstoppable when opportunities finally arrive. So stay patient. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. And let your results make the noise.